Cars are everywhere. They're in our culture, they're in our commute, they're part of our life. Cars allow us to ride comfortably, privately, and quickly to any destination. We base our cities for transporting people and as fast as possible with the power of automobiles. All of these highways and roads allow us previously unthinkable opportunities and changes, right? But cars have drawbacks, and we've doubled down on a system only built for cars. The world revolves around cars and suffers from cars.
We need to understand how cars became so powerful. Car dependency is when an area doesn't have much public transportation, so the next resort to that would be using a car as transportation. Although cars are the top main sources of transportation, it's also one of the main sources of carbon emissions. With more cars being used daily, it can lead to traffic congestion, air pollution, then would cause climate change. If we want to reduce the amount of cars being used daily, we have to either build more public transportation stations or make jobs, grocery stores, malls a walkable distance.
But cars have problems like environmental effects, that being carbon pollution, about 10% and over gas pollution where carbon dioxide is caused by car emissions. It can trap sunlight in, leading to hotter temperatures. I'll get more into the topic later. Cars increase the rate of death as well. There are about over 1,900 plus car fatalities in 2022, being a 6% and over increase from 2021.
Cars aren't even space efficient. It takes 54 square meters per person for a stationary car, while 4 square meters for a bike and 2 square meters for a pedestrian. This is due to the fact that cars are rarely full. On average, they contain about 1.5 people per car. Cars also require massive amounts of parking. 20 people can make up that space standing. It's the average living space per capita in China or Spain. It's also expensive. Paving roads and repaving them and maintaining them is extremely expensive. This is especially true because one car takes up 4 whole parking spaces. That's enough to fit a single-family home in that space. A car, a transportation vehicle, takes up more space than a single-family home. And this therefore reduces the density of car-dependent places as most require both. Just look at Houston, where over 26% of its space is dedicated for parking. And that's not even including the roads. Unfortunately, this just doesn't work in cities, where its design is to concentrate humans in densely populated areas to be more efficient, such as being close to public services like education and healthcare. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, urban areas were happening due to economies of scale, such as large-scale manufacturing, farming, and large-scale housing, and that can only be viable due to high-capacity transportation to get to those destinations. Well, cars aren't a high-capacity method of transportation, and the use of automobiles have only caused congestion due to the space inefficiencies of cars. To compensate for cars' complete lack of space inefficiency, we're building districts that only benefit cars, such as car-dependent suburbs. We're making car-dependent policies like Euclidean zoning, which makes walking to a shop out of walking distance. Take the zoning pattern in Markham, Ontario. The nearest shops are over a kilometer away for many people. This makes cars able to get to the destination quickly, but many of the destinations are at a walking distance. The thing is, adding lanes won't solve traffic. Traffic will converge at different times, roads, and modes in entirely new routes and development that wouldn't have existed, so that traffic will always exist as latent or induced demand. This demand is extremely hard to curb. Look at the Katy Freeway, which has widened its freeway from 10 to 20 lanes for $2.2 billion in Houston. And the traffic has gone right back up due to induced demand, and it hasn't worked for other cities either. Houston is no exception. Traffic doesn't just harm cars, it harms everything. It slows down buses, it slows down deliveries, it slows down ambulances, And the traffic of cars damages the entire city's whole transportation network. Cars also contribute to isolation by separating people in their own individual metal blocks. There's also a lot of environmental damages directly caused by cars. Over 1 million animals die from getting hit by cars in the Greater Toronto Area. But it's not just that. Suburbs also significantly takes away space from the environment, endangering animals. Suburban areas also cause light pollution, more light pollution than urban centers per capita, due to the excessive space used and the minimum light needed for cars and larger homes. Compare these two cities. They seem like they're the same size. One is Atlanta, with a metro population of 8 million, and the other is New York, with a metropolitan population of 22 million. But due to the excessive car-dependent sprawl Atlanta emits, it seems like Atlanta has just the same population as New York, but it emits more light pollution per capita. The high amount of cars needed for a car-dependent society also causes problems. For example, urban heat islands. Paved roads for cars cause surface areas to be hotter. Asphalt absorbs much more heat than grass. In fact, in a 38-degree high, asphalt turns into 65 degrees, which could cause serious burns. The roads attributed to car-dependent societies are also contributes to the negative consequences of runoff. Paved roads specifically, they're the main culprit. They disallow water to be absorbed by planted soil, and they make flooding worse due to the lack of water absorbed by soil. The conflict nowadays are often fueled by oil and gas, fueled themselves by the need of resources because of cars. Additionally, intentional crime is highly related to cars. Look at road rage, drive-by shootings, or almost all crime in general. Use cars because of their speed and privacy related to it. Food deserts are inherently linked to car dependency. Drunk driving. Of course we have drunk driving. When taking an Uber costs lots of money, and when public transit is non-existent, and when walking and biking are long and dangerous, such as walking, which is more likely to get killed in car accidents than drunk driving, of course people will choose the easiest choice of driving, even though they know drunk driving is bad. Our governments need to change. We need to learn how to build transportation infrastructure other than cars effectively. We need to make building anything other than single-family homes normal. We need to change our governments to encourage this change. And it's already been done in Europe and Asia, and some parts of North America, where previously car-dependent neighborhoods have changed into urban paradise, and benefits have already been shown. As an individual, you can also encourage public transportation by using it once in a while and considering using other methods of transportation. You can also attend other city hall meetings, or you can vote in your local elections.
In conclusion, cars have been taking over the world because of how efficient it is for many reasons, such as fast transportation. They eventually lead to many negative effects around the world to happen, such as poor air quality and climate change, which would drastically change the weather, and heat would increase over time in the world, causing more fires to occur. Eventually, these won't just affect humans, but plants and animals too. To stop all these problems, more public transportation systems would have to be built, and if some people take Ubers or taxis, riding a bike would be a better option to change global warming.